Fellow citizens and residents, the candidates for the election of June 5th were nominated on Wednesday, 27th May. They are, in Constituency 1, Jeffrey Hanley of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, symbol the hand; Ian Liebert of the People's Action Movement, symbol the hat. Constituency 2, Marcella Liebert of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, whose symbol is the hand; John L. Powell of the People's Action Movement, whose symbol is the hat. In Constituency 3, Akila Byron Nisbet of the People's Labour Party, symbol the saw, and Conris Maynard of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, symbol the hand. In Constituency 4, Lindsay Grant of the People's Action Movement, whose symbol is the hat; Jason Thomas, an independent candidate, whose symbol is the clock; Steve Rensford of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, symbol the hand. Constituency 5, Sean Richards of the People's Action Movement, symbol the hat; Kenneth Douglas of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, symbol the hand. In Constituency 6, Denzel Douglas of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, symbol the hand; Kevin Williams of the People's Labour Party, symbol the saw. Constituency 7, Timothy Harris of the People's Labour Party, symbol the saw; Leon Nathan Nelson of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, symbol the hand. Constituency 8, Terence Dew of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, symbol the hand; Eugene Hamilton of the People's Action Movement, symbol the hat. In Constituency 9, Mark Brantley of the Concerned Citizens Movement, symbol the hammer; Kelvin Daly of the Nevis Reformation Party, symbol the bottle. In Constituency 10, Eric Evelyn of the Concerned Citizens Movement, symbol the hammer; Bjorn Hanley of the Nevis Reformation Party, symbol the bottle. In Constituency 11, Alexis Jeffers of the Concerned Citizens Movement, symbol the hammer; Patrice Nisbet of the Nevis Reformation Party, symbol the bottle. The candidates all have a 3-day waiting period as of nomination day before their candidacy is finalized. Please note that the candidates are presented to you per constituency in alphabetical order of their surname. This is how they will appear on the ballot. We congratulate all candidates on offering themselves in the service of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. The voters list for the election is drawn up of persons whose names were on the annual register published at the end of January 2020, plus those who were in the monthly revised lists thereafter up to the March list. Thus, there is a total of 48,036 persons who will have the opportunity to vote. 35,860 in St. Kitts and 12,176 in Nevis. This is 5,852 or 14% more persons than the 42,184 voters of 2015. As such, we have had to create an additional 8 polling stations for a total of 129 polling sites. In summary, on voting day, June the 5th, Friday, June 5th, voting will take place thus. For the 5,962 voters in Constituency 1, they will vote at 15 voting sites. For the 5,421 voters in Constituency 2, they will vote at 14 voting sites. The 4,078 voters in Constituency 3 will vote at 10 voting sites. The 3,400 voters in Constituency 4 will vote at 10 voting sites. In Constituency 5, there are 3,124 voters assigned to 10 voting sites. In constituency 6, there are 3,205 voters assigned to 9 voting sites. Constituency 7 has 3,722 voters assigned to 9 voting sites. Constituency 8 has 6,948 voters assigned to 18 voting sites. In constituency 9, there are 6,397 voters assigned to 18 voting sites. Constituency 10 has 1,774 voters who will vote in 6 voting sites. And for constituency 11, there are 4,005 voters assigned to 10 voting sites. The actual sites and the number of voters assigned to each polling or voting site will be published in the Gazette and in the newspapers. We must ask that all, and especially the new voters, pay special attention to the instructions of the presiding officers in charge of the voting stations. Those instructions will include a reminder of the names of the candidates, the party they each represent, as well as their party symbols, and an instruction on how and where to make the mark of your choice, that is, an X with the pencil provided. They will also direct you to where to go to make your mark. You must return your vote folded so that your vote is not revealed, and present it to the presiding officer for further instruction, including a compulsory dipping of your finger in the indelible ink provided. If you refuse to dip your finger in the ink, your vote will be deemed a spoilt one, and it will not be counted in the final result. I remind you that candidates are only allowed access to polling stations within the constituency that he or she is contesting. However, they, by law, can only remain within the voting station together with their agent for 5 minutes maximum, and then one of them will be required to leave. Voters are also not allowed to loiter in the polling station. You must leave immediately after casting your vote. There will be further instructions about how to protect yourself and the persons who are there to serve you from COVID-19. Such protocols, discussed and accepted by the COVID-19 task force, include sanitization, distancing measures, and the wearing of masks. Voters will be required to briefly unmask so that their identity can be checked. Also, a cleansing solution will be provided for voters prior to the immersion in the indelible ink. We are urging voters to comply so that the voting process can flow smoothly and expeditiously. While voting, if you feel that your ballot is not properly marked or is spoiled, please return it to the presiding officer and request another. The legislation allows for this. Voters who require assistance can request such assistance. That voter can have another voter of the same polling station make the mark for them behind the booth, or can request that the presiding officer, in the full view of the party agents and poll clerk, make the mark on behalf of the voter. An oath of incapacity must be taken by the incapacitated voter, and a voter may only assist one such voter and none other. Voters will be asked not to take their cell phones or cameras into the voting area. In fact, a container will be provided in which the voter will be asked to deposit their phones. Please bring picture identification with you, particularly your national identification card. However, if you do not have your valid card for whatever reason, you can still vote upon presenting of either a valid local passport, a valid local social security card, or a valid local driver's license. If none of these are available, the elector will be required to take an oath of identity in order to vote. I need to emphasize that voting is not complete until the appropriate finger is dipped in the ink to the satisfaction of the presiding officer. The polls will be available for voting continuously from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Any and all persons who are in line at 6 p.m. will be allowed to vote, but no one will be allowed to join the line after 6 p.m. Also, no one is allowed within 100 yards of the polling site other than electoral officials, candidates and their credentialed agents, commission members, and observers. The police will be asked to strictly enforce these rules. Also note that it is an offense to display political paraphernalia on voting day. At the end of voting, ballot boxes will be transported under armed guard to the counting site, one site per constituency, where the votes will be counted, starting at about 8 p.m., probably later. Results will be periodically shared with the public as they become available. I wish to encourage all voters to exercise their franchise and to vote for the candidate of their choice, and to do so in an orderly and respectful manner. I thank all of you for your prayers. I thank all churches and organizations for allowing the use of their buildings for this national service, and I thank you for your acceptance of these arrangements. Like you, I wish for good weather on polling day and pray that God will continue to bless us all.